Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we explore the world of rare and valuable coins from around the globe. Today we're diving into the fascinating story of the Australian 5-cent coins from 1980 and 1981. Small in size but possibly huge in value. You might be holding one of these little treasures in your coin jar right now without even knowing it. We'll take a close look at mint marks, error varieties, collector demand, and grading tips to help you spot which of these coins could be worth big money. So stay tuned until the end, because you won't believe what some of these 5-cent coins have sold for at auctions. Now let's jump right into the world of Australian coin collecting and find out what makes these 1980 and 1981 5-cent coins so special. Let's get started. First up, the 5-cent coin is one of Australia's most familiar small denomination coins. It entered circulation in 1966, when decimal currency replaced pounds, shillings, and pence. By 1980, the design featuring the echidna on the reverse and the reigning monarch Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse had been well established. The 1980 issue sits within a period of steady mintage and widespread circulation, so millions were produced, and most examples you find will be common circulated pieces. But common doesn't mean uninteresting. The coin's composition, design details, and the occasional minting anomaly can still attract collectors. It's important to understand the coin's place in decimal history and how the 1980 year fits into broader collecting trends. It's not a rare year by mintage alone, but quality examples, error coins, and coins with unusual toning or strike quality can still be worth attention. Let's get concrete about what the 1985C is. The coin is cupronickel 75%, copper 25%. Nickel, weighs around 2.83 grams and measures about 19.41 millimeters in diameter. The standard 5C specification. The obverse features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, typically the Arnold Machen or Raphael Maklov portrait, depending on the exact issue, year, and die, and the reverse shows the echidna, design by Stuart Devlin that collectors instantly recognize when you examine a candidate 1980 piece. Check the date clearly stamped on the obverse. Inspect the rim for any irregularities and note the sharpness of the echidna's fur quills and the fine detail around the inscription. Many counterfeits are crude and will fail these basic checks, but also be aware of cleaned or overly polished coins. These will look unnaturally bright and will often show hairline scratches on flat fields. Now the question everyone asks: what is it worth? For the typical circulated 1980 Australian 5-cent coin, values are usually only a small premium above face value as of typical market behavior, and depending on coin condition, expect loose circulated examples to trade for roughly odd 10 cents $1 to collectors and dealers who buy in bulk. In higher grades, extremely fine XF or about uncirculated O coins might fetch AUD to $8. Brilliant uncirculated BU or mint state MS examples can go higher, often AUD $10, $40, depending on eye appeal, luster, and strike quality. Exceptionally high grade certified MS 65 and above from a reputable grading service can command more from advanced collectors, sometimes into the low hundreds if the example is flawless with original luster and no contact marks. Error coins, double strikes, off center strikes, planchette flaws, or unusual toning can push value much higher depending on rarity and collector interest. These are ballpark ranges intended to set expectations. Prices move with demand, so always check recent sales. Although the 1980 5C isn't famous for a single blockbuster, rare at the market does prize any clear mint errors or striking varieties. What to look for: off-center strikes where the date or rim is cut off, double striking or repunched, mint marks, clipped plankets where part of the coin's edge is missing due to an incomplete planchette, and die cracks or die breaks that create raised lines or blobs in places they shouldn't be. Also examine the position and alignment of the obverse and reverse. Broad alignment errors are collectible. Some pieces show die polishing lines or die deterioration that changes the appearance of the echidna, and collectors sometimes pay up for particularly unusual die states. Keep photos of suspect coins and compare with trusted auction results or specialist forums if you think you've found a genuine error. Many errors are actually post-mint damage or cleaning, which drastically reduces value. Grading is the single most important factor in pricing coins. Use the standard categories: good G, very good VG, fine F, very fine VF, extremely fine XF, About uncirculated O and mint state MS. For 1985C coins, most real money is in O to MS grades. Learn to check for where on the high points on the echidna, that's the quills and the top of the head on the obverse, the hair detail around the portrait. Luster matters. Original mint luster produces a sparkle in the fields, and device's lack of luster or a matte flat look is a sign of heavy circulation or harsh cleaning. Scratches, dings, and rim nicks reduce grade and price. For coins you suspect are mint state, consider getting them slabbed by a professional grading service if you think the value justifies the fee. PCGSMS64 or NGCMS65 sticker can improve beer confidence and often helps fetch higher auction prices. A crucial tip: do not clean your coins with abrasive methods or chemicals. Cleaning typically destroys collector value by leaving hairline scratches or altering natural toning. If the coin is just filthy, a gentle rinse in distilled water and careful drying with a soft cloth may be okay for low value pieces, but for any coin you suspect might be valuable, leave it as is and get expert guidance. For storage, use acid-free coin flips, tattoo holders, or inert plastic holders, mylar or polypropylene, and keep coins in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight for long-term preservation. Consider silica gel packs to control humidity and avoid PVC flips, which release chemicals over time and can cause greenish film on coins. For display, avoid adhesives or tape that contact the coin. Always use holders designed for numismatics. If you decide to sell, don't leap at the first offer. Options: local coin dealers good for immediate sale, but they need a margin. Auction houses best for rarer or high-grade coins. If you want maximum exposure, online marketplaces like eBay good for reaching collectors directly, but requires good photos, correct listing and shipping. And coin forums or Facebook groups can net collector to collector sales. Always get multiple offers if possible and consider selling certified slabs through auction if your coin is high grade or an error. When buying, favor sellers with solid feedback and clear return policies. If you aren't comfortable grading yourself, pay a small fee for third-party grading or appraisal. It often pays off. Keep in mind fees. Auction houses charge seller commissions, grading services charge submission fees, online sales take listing and payment processing fees. Factor these into your expected net. To make this practical, I recently saw multiple 1985C coins sold online. Typical circulated pieces moved for well under odd $5, but a few eye-appealing boo examples with original luster and perfect rims sold between AUD $25 $60, depending on platform and bidding competition. Another example, an off-center 5C with about 30% off-center sold to a specialty era collector for a 5-figure sum in a different year. That was a true era extreme and not representative of typical sales, but it shows how dramatic the price jump can be if provenance and photographic evidence are clear. Use these case studies to set realistic expectations. The average find-in change is worth only a little. The rare error or flawless uncirculated specimen might be a serious payday, but those are the exception, not the rule. If you want to collect 5-cent coins systematically, decide whether you're collecting by date mint state errors or by appeal, building a date set. For example, every year from 1966 onward is an accessible route and teaches you spotting differences and die states for an investment-minded approach. Focus on high-grade examples and documented errors for enjoyment. Focus on variety proof like specimens and coins with attractive toning. Keep a checklist and track acquisition prices so you can spot deals. Networking with local clubs or online communities also helps you trade duplicates for pieces you need. And remember, diversify. Don't put all your budget into one year unless you truly understand that market segment well. To wrap up, the 1980 Australian 5-cent coin is generally common in circulated condition and worth only a small premium above face value unless you hit a high-grade mint state example or a true mint error. Key takeaways: check the date and strike quality carefully. Avoid cleaning. Learn basic grading and get multiple offers if you plan to sell. If you found a suspicious or visually exceptional 1980 5C, photograph it from multiple angles. Note weight and diameter if possible, and consult a trusted dealer or specialist forum before making decisions. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more coin valuation videos like this, including step-by-step guides on photographing coins, submitting to grading services, and spotting specific Australian varieties, please subscribe, click the bell, and hit like. Leave a comment if you want a follow-up video. showing live grading of viewer-submitted 5C coins. Thanks for watching and happy hunting. Next up, if you've ever found a little silverish 5-cent coin in a jar and wondered whether it's worth more than 5 cents, today we're doing a deep dive into the 1981 Australian 5-cent. Its history, how many were made, what to look for, including the rare error pieces, how much collectors typically pay, and tips to grade and sell one. I'll walk you through the coin's design, composition, mint locations, proof issues, the most sought after varieties, and practical price guidance so you can judge whether that coin in your pocket deserves a closer look. The 5-cent coin you're looking at carries the second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse and the familiar echidna reverse, a design that's been a staple of Australian decimal coinage. The echidna reverse design and the machine-milled edge and compact size made this denomination durable in circulation but also easy to overlook, which is why collectors sometimes still unearth interesting examples decades later. The look is simple, but the story behind minting and varieties is what makes specific pieces interesting to collectors. Physically, the 1981 5-cent is a small cupronickel coin, 75% copper, 25% nickel, weighing about 2.83 grams with a diameter around 19.41 millimeters and a milled edge. Specs that collectors and dealers use when verifying authenticity and for identifying altered or damaged pieces. Those technical specs also help explain how the coin wears in circulation and why many surviving examples show even wear rather than flashy toning. 1981 was a heavy production year for the 5C coin. In total, hundreds of millions of circulation pieces were struck, produced by multiple mints: the Royal Australian Mint Canberra, the Royal Mint Lantrisant, Wales, and even the Royal Canadian Mint, which is why you'll see slightly different mintage lines reported and why some references list separate figures for each mint. This multi-mint production explains why 1981 5C pieces are common overall, yet can still carry interest when a specific rarity or error is present. Beyond circulation strikes, there were also proof examples produced far smaller numbers intended for collectors and proof sets. These proof pieces carry a much lower mintage and a very different finish, so if you find a crisp mirror like 1981 5C with sharp fields, it may be a proof or an uncirculated set piece rather than a circulated coin. Those are the ones that can attract higher collector interest. Proof mintage figures and the existence of proof sets are important when valuing an individual coin. If you're hunting for value, look for error and variety coins. Documented 1981 varieties include brockage strikes, where one side is a mirror image or improperly struck, ram strike, high lip strikes, clipped plankets, and other mint errors. These error pieces are rare relative to the huge circulation mintage and can command significant premiums, sometimes many times the price of a normal uncirculated example, but their value depends greatly on the type and severity of the error and the coin's overall condition. For average circulated 1981 5C coins, market value is usually only a small premium above face. Most circulated pieces sell for pocket change, up to a few dollars depending on condition. Uncirculated gem or proof examples can fetch more, and properly authenticated error coins, clear brockages, major ram strikes, etc., can sell for tens to hundreds of dollars depending on rarity and demand. Always check recent sale records, auctions, reputable dealers, completed listings rather than asking prices. That's the best way to see what people actually pay right now. When you examine a 1981 5C, use good lighting and a loupe. Check for rim nicks, die cracks, doubling mirror fields for proofs and evidence of a mint error like a brockage, impression, or a displaced collar. Ram strike. Measure weight and diameter if you suspect alteration. For higher value error or proof pieces, consider a third-party grading or authentication service. A certified grade and error attribution will usually increase bear confidence and the coin's realizable price. If you decide to sell, document the coin with high resolution photos, obverse, reverse, and a close shot of any error mark. Start with established marketplaces or specialist auction houses for rarer items. For common circulated coins, marketplaces and local dealers are fine. Be transparent about condition and any provenance. For error coins, get a second opinion from an experienced error coin dealer or numismatic lab before listing. Correct attribution is crucial to getting the best price. Remember, rare must be proven. The mintage background and a verifiable error grade sell coins, not mere claims. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more coin breakdowns from modern circulating oddities to rare mint errors and how to start grading coins at home, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and leave a comment with the year and denomination you want me to research next. If you're a collector with a 1981 5C that you suspect is an error, drop clear photos in the comments or tag me on social media so I can take a look. And if you want a downloadable checklist for photographing and documenting coins for sale, say checklist please, and I'll make one in the next video. Thanks for watching. Keep those coin jars open. You never know what's worth a closer look.